Am I the a-hole for kicking my brother-in-law out after he referred to himself as the father of my child? Am I the a-hole for lashing out at my boyfriend for deleting my Instagram account after I posted a video of him with my son? Am I the a-hole for losing my shit at BF for nagging me about tanning as a white girl? Am I the a-hole for kicking my brother-in-law out after he referred to himself as the father of my child? I know the title is a bit off, but let me explain. Me, 30 female, and my wife, 29 female, welcomed our son into this world a year ago. Both of our families are very accepting of us, but my wife's family has this weird obsession with passing on the family genes, which made adopting out of the question very early on. Me and my wife have always wanted to start a family, but things got difficult when my wife found out she was infertile. We knew her family would be understanding, but I am terrified of pregnancy. From what I have been told, I'm almost physically identical to my bio mom who died during childbirth, so that has led me to believe I wouldn't hold a pregnancy very well. After a few months of brainstorming and letdown, mother-in-law suggested that we do IVF, using my eggs and my brother-in-law's sperm, and let my wife carry the baby. I was skeptical at first but gave in because the plan hit all marks. Her family get their genes passed on, my wife and I get to start a family, and I don't have to carry the baby. We went through extensive counseling and therapy to make sure everyone was on the same page and could handle it. The procedure was a bit expensive, but my wife's grandma happily covered the cost since our baby would be the first of the new generation in their family. Everything went great. My wife loved being pregnant, aside from the morning sickness, and we were more than overjoyed to welcome our baby boy in the winter. The problem arose last week. We were preparing for my son's first birthday when brother-in-law made a comment about how he should get a say in the planning as the child's father. I was shocked. I cringed and told him that he wasn't, he just provided the sperm. He looked me straight in the eye and said, "Yeah, so he is our child." I looked to my wife whose mouth was wide open and mother-in-law wasn't making eye contact. Before he could say anything else, I demanded that he get out of my house and that he'd be able to come to the party when he apologized. He got angry but left when my wife started to cry. My wife has always struggled with self-esteem and her infertility really took a toll on her. For months, I had to constantly reassure her that she is an amazing mother and that she wasn't wrong. She faced a lot of homophobia and misogyny growing up. Sister-in-law called me later that day and called me a bitch. I argued that brother-in-law had no right saying any of that, but sister-in-law just kept yelling. Me and my wife have cut all contact with her family. It's turned into something bigger than it needs to be, but I refuse to let someone call my family incomplete again. Call me dramatic, but I grew up with a family in and out and never knowing who is real family, and I refuse to let the same happen to my son. Brother-in-law signed away his rights and verbally agreed multiple times that he's just an uncle. He's never had a problem until now, and it's kinda out of the blue. If he was starting to feel more of a connection to my son, then I'd understand if he calmly spoke to my wife and I instead of staking claim. I've reached out to brother-in-law a few times looking for a reason, but he has just thrown insults to my wife and I. My wife is devastated over losing contact, but neither of us want to forgive brother-in-law until he apologizes. So, am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole for lashing out at my boyfriend for deleting my Instagram account after I posted a video of him with my son? I, 32, met Adam, 28, 15 months ago. He lives in another town but visits twice a month. Whenever I mention him moving in with me or vice versa, he'd say he has his reasons to think about it. He adores my 3-year-old son and says he's serious about me and wants me and my son to be his family. The whole issue occurred when I took a video of Adam helping my son try on his new shoes and wrapping his laces. I published the video on my Instagram account, and when he saw it, he went crazy and started calling me nonstop. I picked up the phone for him to tell me I messed up and should have never posted any videos or pictures of him without talking to him first, and ended up deleting my entire Instagram account since he has the password for it. I was shocked. I lashed out, telling him he should have never deleted my entire active account instead of giving me the chance to take the video down immediately. We had a fight and he told me I should not have lashed out, and that can't blame him from trying to handle my breach of privacy and boundary crossing. He said this is all my fault and he never gave permission to the video, although he knew I was recording him. I hung up and was absolutely mad. He deleted my Instagram and now he says I should apologize on top of that. Am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole for losing my shit at BF for nagging me about tanning as a white girl? Edit. Update coming soon, you guys. Apparently, he does prefer me white. I'm Greek. My boyfriend is Pakistani. This is an old debate that got brought up again tonight. Mediterranean region is blessed with sun, especially during summer. Us Greeks are inseparable from the sea and love the beautiful tan we get under the sun. I personally believe it elevates my hotness by 100 times. So I love sunbathing with all the appropriate sunscreens. I do the same in the US with the little sun I get. Did the same this summer. My BF saw me the first time and said, "Why do you want to change your skin color? I don't understand white people tanning." I frowned upon the comment and explained to him that it's not a white people culturally appropriating BS. It was just something I grew up with. Even if I fit his idea of white people, the usual stereotypes, I would find it a BS comment to make, considering we all share the same sun to do whatever we want under it. He still continued to ask, "Why do you burn your skin? I don't understand tanning." The second time he saw me sunbathing. The third time as well, fourth, and so on. I was mentioning today about how I miss my sun-kissed skin during winter, and BF started his monologue about burning my skin and not understanding tanning. I finally snapped and said, "Okay, what's your problem?" He said, "I'm just making conversation." I told him it's not conversation when you mention it 4 times. It's criticism. I've already answered you on why I like to tan. He called me dramatic and said he just doesn't understand me burning my white skin under the sun. I told him not to worry about the color of my skin and just let me enjoy what I do. He proceeded to say it's impossible to talk to me and I was being bitchy. Am I the a-hole?